In this video, we'll go through the 2 high yield dividend trades that I made, how many shares did I buy, how much it cost me, and then what we'll do, we'll go see how that has impacted my overall yearly dividend income, where the goal is to get to $50,000 by the end of 2025. And if you like the sound of that or you love this content, all I ask for is that you smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. So we're here in Snowball Analytics. I thought I'll mix it up a little bit, then going through the activity statement on Interactive Brokers. And again, if you guys are interested in getting Snowball Analytics, it is a really good tool, some useful stuff about how your return on your platform and all these good things. There's a playlist down below, but there's also a link to get Snowball Analytics down below if you guys are interested. And as you can see here, it's linked to my IBKR with the little logo there, my portfolio. And it just pulls in all the trades and puts it here in the portfolio transactions section. I filtered for the last 7 days, and you'll see here that I've also made another buy order here for AMD. And for those who are interested, it's 1 share for $119. But why you guys are here is all down to yieldmax, ULTY, and yieldmax TSLY. So what I've done is I've purchased 300 additional shares on Friday, 17th of January on ULTY, taking my total ULTY holdings up to 1,000 shares. So for those who have been following me for a while, know I want to get to around 1,000 shares of each fund, with the hope of each fund paying around $1, therefore each fund giving me $1,000 a month. And, ULTY has been declining, all of these things, but the yield is still pretty high, even though the actual amount or the dollar amount is lower as it drops. From a percentage point of view, it's still a worthwhile thing to be looking at. And you can see here that I spent $2,700 to acquire 300 shares. The next one is TSLY. Again, I already owned 650 shares of TSLY, so I've ramped that up by an additional 100 shares. So now I have 750 shares in the portfolio, bought it at $15, and therefore cost me $15 to acquire those 100 shares. So the total of that is 4.2K I used to go buy 400 shares of yieldmax stock. Now, the bit that I want to get across again is, which I mentioned in all my videos, this 4.2K is not my money. I'm borrowing against my portfolio, i.e. on margin, so Interactive Brokers' money, to go accumulate this stock. And if you guys are interested and want me to do a total return video, because I know a lot of people talk about total returns when it comes to yieldmax, comment down below, I can do that for you so you can see what my total return is. However, the way I look at it is how much dividend I'm getting paid every single month to pay off or pay down that margin. And again, I'm very open and transparent in terms of what that margin number is and how it fluctuates on a month-to-month basis. So make sure you subscribe if you guys are interested in understanding how my margin position changes over time throughout 2025. So that's where we are on this one. This is what it looks like at the moment. So 4.2K, I think it is, on yieldmax stock. So I've got ULTY to 1,000 and 750 for TSLY. So I also promised that I will show you what does that do for my dividend portfolio. So if I hover over to the dividends tab, you can see here that my estimated annual income is $36,000. That roughly rates itself out as $3,073 in terms of dividend income. And you can see here that a lot of it is Connie, Tesla, and ULTY. I own a few shares of Nike and about, I think it's 1 share of Google, I think it is. So, and again, these two, Nike and Google, I'm not doing it for a dividend play. I'm doing it for an undervalue play on accumulating shares for the long term. They just happen to be dividend paying stocks as well. So when we look at this here between Connie, it doesn't show me the amount of shares that I've got, but just so you guys understand, in 1,100 shares of Connie, 750 shares of TSLY, and 1,000 shares now of ULTY. So you can see here that the annual dividends, I believe that this is an estimate here based on its current thing, is 21,000 for Connie, 8.8K and 6.4K. Now, we looked over here, it showed it's $36,881, so about $3,000 a month. Again, pre-tax, all of these good things inside there. And what you'll see here is how does that break down over time. And again, interesting how some of this stuff is calculated, but I guess what they do is they take the current yield, average it out over a few months, and I guess they extrapolate that across the number of shares that I've got. So if we hover over January at the moment, I'm estimating to make 2.2k, which, if for those who have seen my previous videos, I've been earning around 2.8 to 3.2, I think it is, over the last couple of months. And that's because A, the market was good, and also B, in December, tsly paid out twice. So the reason why this looks lower is because tsly paid out also in the last week of December, which was technically the first week of January. So we can see here that I still have tsly to pay out for the fifth week, because January again is a 5-week month, so it's going to work out there. Now the good thing is, or the way you look at it, so that 134 also takes into account the 100 shares that I've gained, and you'll see here for ULTY how ULTY increases from $400 to $572, and that's because it's now taking into account the additional 300 shares that I've gathered from the purchase that I made yesterday. So again, just to really kind of close this thing off, again, fully transparent here. In terms of, it shows it here actually. In November, I made 2.5 grand. In December, I made 3.2k. I've made 1.3k today, and I'll get another $600 to $800 from there. So it should take me over the 2k mark. But I know that this is going to fluctuate over time, which makes sense based on the weeks of the year and all these good things. But what you'll notice is, even as the market has gone down, I'm still able to acquire shares and, still able to get this number up. So I think when I last did this video at some point in December, I think this was about 33,000 from memory. Again, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it was that. And that's because I'm accumulating shares every single month, whether it's 100 shares or something, or 200 shares. This month, again, it was 300 shares of ULTY and 100 shares of TSLY. I'm aggressively selling put options on Misty, just trying to get 100 shares, but Misty just goes down and then keeps going back up again. So, which is all good from that front, but I'm still making money through my options premium as well as time goes on. So this is the future payments we talked about. And again, this just goes through all the dividends I received. So 62% of all my dividends have come from Connie, 4.4k, 28% from TSLY, around 2k, and 9% from ULTY, and 20 cents from Google, which doesn't even go to 2 decimal places on the overall dividend sheet, which is all good. And again, this just again showing my growth over time. So I guess this is a trading 12-month monthly, and then this just shows it over 2025. So the goal here for 2025, I want to get this number. This will include actuals and forecasted. Is this forecasted over the 12 months? It doesn't actually say, just it says annually there. So I would imagine that's probably going to be a roll forward number. So we can use this chart over here as time goes on to make it easy and visual for you guys watching on how much dividends I get. So please make sure you subscribe, because we'll get all these numbers populated as the year continues. And I'm really excited for this journey. So those are the 2 stocks that I continue to get heavily into, looking to get some other things. And again, if you guys are interested in this type of content, as well as option content as well that I do on the channel, and I use the option premium that I generate through my options trading to also pay down my margin. So my dividend and my option premium pay down my margin, which allows me to go buy AMD stock, for example, or go buy more dividend stocks. Because even if these dividend stocks continue to fall and pay less, as I accumulate more and more shares, it kind of maintains this kind of payment level over time. And plus the stocks become cheaper for me to acquire more stocks to then be able to maintain that level of dividend. And hopefully, we'll get to the 6 figures at some point, but 50k. So I've still got to add another 14k to this number and be consistent with it. So on a month, on an annual basis, which, if we divide 40, is over 1.2k a month. So we can get there. That'd be fantastic. And I'd love you guys to be on this journey with me. So make sure you subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next video.